Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome back to the daily forecast for Monday, October 21st, 2024. It is the 30th of Libra and the day of the werewolf. In our astrology, the sun is in Libra, cardinal air, representing justice. The moon begins the day in third quarter Gemini, mutable air, representing change. At 4 p.m. Central Time, the moon goes void of course, and at 5:50 p.m. Central Time, it moves into third quarter Cancer, cardinal water, representing emotional rapport. Mercury is in Scorpio, fixed water, representing the spiritual. Venus is in Sagittarius, mutable fire, representing generosity. Mars is in Cancer, cardinal water, which is seeking security. Jupiter is retrograding in Gemini, mutable air, which is to broaden perspective. Saturn is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, which is to redefine dreams. Uranus is retrograding in Taurus, fixed earth, representing rebellion. Neptune is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, which is spiritual awakenings. And Pluto's in Capricorn, cardinal earth, representing reconstruction. For our retrograde reminders, for Jupiter, reconnect with your true path. Saturn, reclaim your authority. Uranus, reconsider how you rebel. Neptune, reclaim your magic. And Chiron, restore the heroic spirit. Our moon phase is a waning gibbous, which means that we need to practice gratitude. For the Cancer moon, our do's are work from home, prioritize the family, nurture your friends. And the don'ts are publicity, an over reliance on objectivity at the expense of intuition and instinct, and then the overindulgence of emotions. So our waning moon aligns naturally with the Cancerian influence to stay a bit closer to home, draw that energy inward, focus upon what's near and dear to you and who is near and dear to you. Not everything in our lives needs to be focused upon external concerns or made public on social media. It is perfectly okay and necessary to periodically withdraw and recharge. And that's really what I'm feeling for the energy today, that we just need to go within, be a little bit more quieter, keep closer to home, and let the world carry on with its own affairs without our input and influence just for today. In our tarot, we have the Wheel of Fortune card. It's a major arcana card, so think far reaching impact. It's number 10 in the major arcana, so you break that down to 1 plus 0, that equals 1, and that represents the essence of the energy. And the key words to describe that energy are a change of luck, adaptability, new choices resulting in new circumstances. And we see our figure. He's on that wheel of fortune. He's spinning around. I can't quite tell if they're spinning him clockwise or counterclockwise. Something about him makes me almost think that it's going counterclockwise, which is really weird. But I suppose that's also how when the wheel of fortune comes up, how it can feel that you thought you were going one direction and then you get spun around in the complete opposite sometimes. And of course, someone's been throwing knives at him, which would be anxiety inducing to say the least. And when we go through disruptive changes in course, it can feel just as disruptive and a cause for anxiety as this poor figure here. That doesn't mean that we can't navigate, though. Even if we might feel that we don't completely have our hands on the steering wheel at the moment, if we aren't completely in charge of things, maybe we are getting swept up in a larger tide of fate. That could all very well be. However, we shouldn't prevent ourselves from exercising the agency that we possess, and we shouldn't stop thinking about, what seeds through my actions can I plant that are going to result in circumstances that I will find more desirable, especially if you find yourself in a bit of a mess. And if you are in a bit of a mess, look for the lessons. What is this teaching you? What is this revealing that was hidden from your sight before? Try to make some lemon out of lemonades if they happen to come your way today. And if it's a change that's much more for your betterment, enjoy the ride. That's take these gifts when you can receive them. Then for today's Celtic triad, it reads three things no being can be seen without: covering, movement, and shadow. So, on the subject of covering, terribly sorry to tell you, nudists, most of humankind prefers their fellow man to be properly clothed. That's why so much of human custom and ideas about what's suitable for for what occasion, what do standards of modesty consist of. There's a reason why these things keep coming up over and over again, and there were standards and customs for this sort of thing that have a lot to do with the environment people were in, as much as the prevailing culture. And these things existed long before Abrahamic monotheistic religions were ever even heard of. So it's not just their invention to impose upon us. Let's be a little bit more realistic about our ancestors there. And then movement. Life is movement, even if it's just the movement of breathing. Anything that does not move is dead. And then shadow. Our bodies cast a shadow, our characters cast a shadow through the reputation we build. All of these things, we have to have the covering of our clothes, the covering of our skin if we want to get really down to it. We need to have movement. We need to be able to cast a shadow. If these things are missing, then we are not fully being seen. We are not fully in the world itself. Then for correspondences, they are centered on the idea of visions. The color is white, the plant is jasmine, the animal is the white raven, and the crystal is quartz. This is a good time of year to seek clarity if you are looking for some kind of divine insight, seeking wisdom through visions. Highly probable to have success today. If you wanted to set the stage, you might wear a white robe or something that's white. You could drink some jasmine tea ahead of time. If you are lucky enough to find a feather of a white raven, have that handy. Have your right quartz handy, and then cast your circle. Especially if you're trying to find an outright vision, I do suggest going to the effort of actually casting a circle. Just give yourself an extra layer of security, and then open yourself up. Go into a deep meditation, go into trance if you need to, and seek out that vision. Get that clarity, pursue that clarity as best as you possibly can, and trust that your ancestors, your guides, your gods will make up the difference if your energy isn't quite up to snuff. And sometimes it isn't always. And bear in mind, if you are feeling a bit low on energy, you might be recovering from the summer because I tell you what, the past couple of weeks it seems like summer really came back to us with a vengeance, and I don't think we're completely done with the warmer weather yet in some areas. More's the pity. But that could have drained and sapped your energy. And of course, illnesses, colds and flus and what have you, they are a lot more common at this time of year, as you had the misfortune to hear in my case in recent days. But that it takes a lot out of a person, even if it's a fairly mild and illness. It's still sapping energy out of your being. So if you are needing that extra help, don't feel bad. Don't beat yourself up. You are interacting with the energies of your environment, and that has an effect upon you. I don't care how good your shielding is. I don't care how disciplined you are with your cleansings. You are still human, and so you're going to have some impacts that, fall short of the ideal. It's okay. Now, moving on to practices. Mondays are a good day for dream work. And then, do you feel you have an inner beast like the Wolfman? And I don't just mean, little flaws and foibles of your character. I mean, do you have something ferocious within you? How can your actions be like the moon? Where's there the distinct lack of lunar wisdom in society? And Mondays are for relaxing evenings, so take an evening stroll if you possibly can, especially if you have good weather, and especially if you're in an area where you can get a glimpse of the stars. Now, I live in town right now, so there's a lot of rather tedious light pollution, so I don't really get the full vision of the night sky most times. But even so, there's something about going out, just absorbing, the shadows and just the atmosphere of an autumnal evening that's really very relaxing. Then you come back home and you make yourself some chai and you put your feet up and things are nice and you just recharge and restore yourself. It can work wonders for the amount of energy and the quality of energy you can take with you going forward through the rest of the week. And now for our journal prompt. Do you think goddesses of the dead help heal the spirits of the deceased? Do you think that process of healing does take place during the afterlife when we are in between incarnations? Are we helped along with that? What might that consist of? It's an interesting thing to speculate upon. Okay. I had 3 cups of tea before I started recording, but you sure wouldn't know it was here to hear me talk. Anyway, despite my personal deficiencies, I wish you a very magical and delightfully spooky day. Let me know what you thought of all of this in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.